Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. And in this video, so if you watched the last video, you'd know that we were working on the van where we changed out all the steering linkages from wheel to wheel. And today we're actually gonna keep working on the van because this is why. Let me show you guys. So here it is, set up on jack stands. And as you guys remember, in the last video I had mentioned that we needed to replace the brakes. So that's what we're gonna do today, which means pretty much, everything right here, well, probably except for the caliper, is going out, getting replaced by new ones. They're pretty damn old, rusty, and I think they may be glazed. Let me check, let's see the other side. Yeah, there's like a lot of I don't know what to call that, because when I don't know if you guys seen it in the last video, but it was very shiny here, like, but not like this. So we're just gonna go ahead and replace the rotors and the brake pads and the wheel bearings. So I'll get to show you guys how to replace it on these. So here we go again. First things first, we need to get rid of this brake caliper right here. In order for us to do that, we need to remove this bolt right here. I'm not sure you can see it. And this bottom bolt right here, which is a 3/8 Allen key right here. Alright, so after a lot of wiggling around, finally got the brake caliper off, and lo and behold, that boot is gone. The caliper is just rusty and roasty, and all the stees. So with that, now that we have this off, we might need to replace it as well, but we'll see what we do with this. So we're just gonna move on and start taking this off. All right, so we got this off. It was a 32 millimeters nut right here. As you can see, we took off a big washer behind. Then the front wheel bearing is next, which is this one. I have to see what size it is. I'm not sure. We're gonna have to take it to the parts store, figure that out, and pretty much that's it. We just take off the disc right here. So we're working this out right here. Oh shit. As you can see, that's the inner seal here, and this is the inner bearing. Ooh. Not sure if it comes with anything at all, but just making sure. Looks like we're good. So we need to make sure to buy these inner wheel bearings right here. Right here. Inner wheel bearings, outer wheel bearings, and the seal right here. So we need to make sure to buy everything. And this cable is old and rusty. I'm assuming this is ABS cable right here, and the sensor wasn't here, just pretty much fried and all the bad possible outcomes it can have. So I'm not sure what we're gonna do there. Maybe we'll just leave it there, just dangling with no sensor at all. If we can find a fix for it, or hopefully that ABS sensor is pretty affordable, so we can go ahead and replace those if we can. I'm not sure, but let's clean this up real quick and go from there. We got these old parts cleaned up somewhat. That way, we know exactly what we're gonna buy. This is the inner wheel bearing, the outer, and the seal here. We have that rotor right there. We have the brake pads right there. We go ahead and go to the parts store, and hopefully they have everything in stock so we can buy, I guess, for both sides. We're gonna end up buying the brake calipers as well, just to go ahead and knock that out. I'm also gonna ask about the wheel speed sensor, I believe it's called, because it looks like that might be one of the problems with the van, you know, leaning to the right or pulling to the right when braking. So hopefully they have that in stock as well, and we'll come back with the parts, hopefully. Let's roll. So we're back from the store. Bad news, we only got part of our shopping list. We found the inner wheel bearings and the seals, but everything else is up in the air. There was nothing in stock close by, so we have to go to another store, which is fine. But I need to make sure about the wheel speed sensor. I need to make sure what it looks like. We have a few of them, a few different kinds. So I need to make sure if it comes with like a dust shield. Let me show you. So I want to make sure that first of all, it doesn't have a connector anymore. So we need to make sure what kind of connector it is. If I need to replace the harness, I mean, we'll go ahead and do that because it's something that's necessary. But I also want to make sure that if it came with some type of dust shield like this is in the metal, this is a dust shield for the rotors. But it looks like this piece here is a different shield. And I'm wondering if this shield is what, you know, this is where the sensor bolts onto. I'm not really sure what it looks like, because again, the sensor that we took off from here was just, it had no figure to it, so I don't know what it looks like. So what I'm hoping is, this is the driver's side right here, what I'm hoping is maybe on this passenger side behind this rotor right here, maybe the speed sensor is intact. Hopefully it's in one piece. That way I get a better idea of, you know, what connector it needs. If I need to replace the connectors, that's fine. If I can find it, hopefully I can find it close by locally. And two, you know, what the sensor is actually, or what it looks like at least, you know. So what I'm gonna do right now is pretty much take off the passenger side rotor and everything like I did on the driver's side. That way I can get hopefully a better idea of what the sensor looks like. From there we go to the parts store and buy what we need and get this job done, because I'm itching to get it done already. I want to drive it. Finally we got the passenger side things off. That's the rotor right there, and luckily we know what the sensor looks like now. And this right here, this little square is the sensor. But as you can see, man, I don't think anyone's ever laid their hands back here at all. We have to find the sensor, and if need be, the connector or the wiring that leads to wherever it leads to on both sides, replace them both, because I think that would be the best course of action to take on this particular, you know, situation. And go ahead and buy everything else. Right here, the brake caliper on this side, the boot isn't torn or anything, but I'm thinking if we're gonna replace the other side, we might as well replace both. That way, you know, new calipers, new pads, new rotors, new sensors. Pretty much the whole braking system is gonna be, well, new. You know, with everything new, you know, there shouldn't be a problem. Like I said, right now, all we have right now is the inner wheel bearing and the seal for to seal it in, the rear wheel bearings. So we need everything else. So now, again, it's a good thing that now we know what it looks like. At least, because that was a pain in the butt right there. You know, I really didn't want to guess, because I had a feeling that, you know, I just had a feeling that I needed to know first. Oh, look at this little companion over here. Look at this. So this little cat right here has been chilling in my front yard with the dog. And it seems to be part of the family now. So let's get it cleaned up. Let's get it out of there, so that way we can go ahead and look for it and hopefully find it locally. Here's where we're at. So we took off the dust shield here, cleaned it all up, tried to remove this, which we can, but I found it a little odd, because I thought, you know, let's see over here. I found it odd. I thought that this was a connector right here. So, you know, which is why I took off the dust shield, and, you know, maybe I could just pull on it and yada yada. But looking from behind it, and after cleaning it, there is no connector there. And if we follow the wire here, it goes down here, over here, it goes around back here, and this is the connector right there. It comes with the whole thing, the sensor, the little plastic thing, the sensor, the dust shield, all, and the wiring together. We're actually the next day, believe it or not. And this is where we are now. So after going to calling and going to different parts stores, you know, trying to find that these ABS wheel speed sensors, nowhere to be found, nothing. All they had, it was the transmission one, but we're not looking for the transmission one. We're looking for the wheel ones, but nothing. There was nothing anywhere. So I decided to, you know, start investigating what's going on. So it turns out, you know, after, you know, endless researching and stuff, trying to see the forums, groups, anything I can, you know, regarding these vans, it turns out I might have found a solution to it. And the solution is this. So make sure, for those of you who have, you know, 1985 Chevy G20 vans with the 5.7, I don't know about the rest, but this is just in my application. Someone had told me in one of the groups, huge shout out, I forgot your name, but huge shout out for the info, that using trucks, since this is a G20 and a 95, he told me to search up the 1995 Chevy C2500 pickup, and lo and behold, this is the results. That's it right there. That's the new replacement part. Again, this is for a 1995 Chevy C2500 pickup with a 5.7. So it does come exactly like the way it looks, like the old one, and it comes with a dust shield. So, you know, I took off mine to take it to the parts store just to make sure that at least the sensor was the correct one, the same length of the wire. As you see here, the connector, and, you know, it matched up. At least the sensor did. I wasn't sure about the dust shield. The dust shield looks a little different, but so I figured, hey, if anything else, I can use the sensor. That's the important one. For the dust shield, I can always switch it over to the old dust shield, and, you know, there you go. So this is it right here. So let me actually show you guys what's up. So it looks like everything matches up. Same thing. The bolt over here goes in. These two bolts, however, this one and the top one, do not bolt in because they're a little far apart. So that's no go right there. But the actual wiring in the connector, the same connector, which means that I finally found a solution to this problem. Albeit the only thing I have to do to it to modify it is change new sensor over to the old dust shield, and there you go. That's all you have to do. So again, remember, 1995 Chevy C2500 pickup 5.7, because this one has a 5.7. I'm not sure about the other engine options or any other van, like the G30 or the G10, but for my application, this worked. Hopefully it works for you guys. Let me know if you've been looking for this part. Let me know down in the comments, because this was a huge pain in the ass to figure out. So a huge shout out to that guy. I forgot your name, but thank you. Got it together. It's installed. Old dust shield, new sensor. The new dust shield's right there, won't be needing it. Old sensor right there, won't be needing that. Although it probably might still work, but let's just go ahead and replace both since I have them. Just routed the wiring here. Got some little extra bracket action going on right here. Bolted it on right there. Connected right there. And we're good to go. Now that I made sure that it actually works, or at least it's connected or anything, you know. Now it's back on and popping. Now we gotta buy pretty much the brakes, the pads, the rotors, the remaining of the bearings, I think we were missing the outer bearings and possibly the calipers as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side real quick. I think we might have run out of time to go pick up the other parts, but we'll pick it up tomorrow or as soon as possible so we can get this thing down the road. And first and foremost, you know, to show you guys how to put everything back together and all the things. So it's been a couple of days now. Finally, parts came in. Let me show you what you need. So as you know, already got the ABS sensors, the ABS wheel sensors on, but we're missing pretty much everything else, which is apparently I had to special order some things, which is what took so long. So we got the rotors there, brake pads, the bearings, seals, and these are the part numbers for those of you that go to AutoZone. This is the inner wheel bearing seal, 4740. These are the bigger wheel bearings that goes inside, 1779. And the outer is the set 45. I had to take pretty much the old ones and measure them up, and I went through a lot of those just to pretty much find out which ones I needed. So there you go for those of you that are looking for the bearings or anything else. Like the rotors, 55016, and also got the, you can see over there, those are calipers for both sides. So basically the front end of this thing is gonna be new. Well, I mean, for the most part. The brakes, the linkages are all new, everything's new. So it should be good after this, it better be. Now it's time to prepare the rotors, because these have bearings in them. I mean, it's pretty much freaking one piece with everything. So basically, even the studs are here. So we're basically gonna be taking these wheel bearings and packing them with grease with this. So if you can do it manually, it don't matter. But I just happen to have this. You guys are looking for this. This is what you're looking for right here. The bearing packer, OEM Tools, online. Even a local parts store might have them. For those of you that want this, a couple of bucks, no big deal. And this is now your bearing. Just like it is right here. You can wipe it off a little bit, but not really, don't matter. You throw this inside of the rotor, because this one goes inside of the rotor. This is the set 45. I think I got it mixed up. So the set 45 goes inside the rotor, and the 1779 bearing goes outside. This is behind the rotor, the back side of it, and pretty much with all the grease that's on the bearing, you're pretty much just gonna sit it down, and it's just gonna lubricate the whole thing. You see right there. Mess with it, and it's still like all that grease. It's greasy. So there you go. Wipe this off a little bit, because next up is the seal that seals this bearing in place. So let's go ahead and do that now. We're gonna take our seal, and it goes right there. And there it is. Got the seal in, flush with the rotor here. Bearings inside. Now, it's pretty much good to go into here. Before you throw on the rotor, make sure to lather this thing up with grease as well, because this is where it spins. So you don't want this to be dry. So just lather on the grease. All right, now that the new rotor is on, make sure to pack the outer bearing, the smaller bearing, and throw it in there, which is what I did. After that, you get that washer, the big washer. I believe it goes this way, and slide it in like so. Then you get the castle nut right here. This bitch right here. So for this doesn't go torqued down or timed down a lot. What you're looking for is for you see the disc It automatically stops. You know, you don't want any, you know, you don't want the wheel to be pretty much forcing. So you see how that's a lot more looser than it was. Tighten it up a little bit. And you want a nice little, you know, you want the rotor to turn nicely. Not too tight, not too loose at the same time. So you want to find that good middle ground. After that, once you found your setting, now it's time to use the cotter pin and lock this castle nut down so you won't back off or anything like that. So that's where we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. All right, so now that we have our cotter pin on there, as you can see, that's pretty much it. Now you just throw in your dust cap right here, and there you go. That is the driver's side brake rotor with bearings pretty much on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the passenger side real quick. That way we can continue on what's next. All right, so now that I have the passenger and the driver's side rotor on and everything on, now got the calipers right here, brand new calipers. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna replace these old boys because the boot is torn, as you can see right there, and it's just fucking ugly. So we're just gonna go ahead and replace both of them. What it is pretty much just one bolt back here somewhere. If you can see it right there. Is this one right here. Get that one out. The line's gonna come out. Put the line on the new one. Bolt it back up. Should be good. Obviously, we're gonna have to bleed the brakes. Pretty damn good. All four, I'm pretty sure. But you know, it is what it is. That's pretty much it. We installed the caliper here. Like I said, it was just, where is it? That bolt right there. Just take off the old one, put on the new one. The two copper washers go, you know, sandwiched to the brake line right there. That squared thing. And that's pretty much it. Tighten it up. Ready to do the other one. Well, actually, let's go ahead and throw in the brake pads. Might as well, so we can finish this side up and go to the other side. So there you go. Pads are in, as you can see. Brand new pads, brand new calipers, brand new rotors, brand new bearings. It's good. This side is good to go. We still have to do some bleeding, but first we're gonna go ahead and do the passenger side real quick, then come back and start bleeding everything. Make sure everything is in good working condition. Hyped. So, update. We got everything set up. All the calipers, all the whole shebang right here. I went to go bleed the passenger side, bled perfectly. Got to this side, started bleeding it, and we came across another problem. No oil comes out of the nipple at all. Like at all. We tried it at least 5 times, pumping it, you know, 5 sets of 5. And nothing comes out. Nothing at all. So we thought, okay, maybe, you know, the caliper doesn't work or yada yada. You know, try to discard the caliper from being the problem. We disconnected the bolt from behind and just started pumping it, you know, free, you know, let it do its thing. Thinking, you know, maybe it was a caliper that was bad, which, you know, had some blockage or something. And nothing. After pumps and pumps, there's no oil coming from the line at all. Maybe, you know, just barely a few drops, but nothing compared to the passenger side. So that poses a problem right there, because now we don't know if it's the line's clogged, if that was the original problem it had, you know, the line being clogged or oil not going to that line specifically. Yeah, if that was the original problem, I mean, you know, everything new is never bad idea, I guess, but it's a pain in the ass because now it's another problem on top of problems, so just going down a rabbit hole. So it looks like we won't be able to finish this job tonight either, which sucks because I really want to drive this thing already. Hopefully it's the line, or I don't know what it is. I'm gonna have to find out. So if you guys have any ideas what could it be, discarded the possibility of it being the caliper. So it's now from the line all the way to the master cylinder. Another question I had, I don't know if this is well, I'm pretty sure it's a hydraulic brake system, but if I'm mistaken, you know, make sure to correct me down in the comments for sure. I would definitely appreciate that, or any info I could get about this problem specifically. I mean, it's because we're so damn close to, you know, having good brakes. So with that bombshell, I was hoping for a happy ending to this video, brakes and durability and all that stuff, but I guess it'll have to wait until, you know, I get down to the main source of the problem. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe for future content, follow us on IG, Los Menos Vera. And again, make sure, you know, if you have one of these vans or worked in these vans and have had that problem, make sure to comment down below, let a brother know what's going on. That being said, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.